From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in it. At least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. What a crowd. This is a very great place. We had a great victory here 4 years ago, and I just noticed there happened to be a poll out that came out last night that has a very, very substantial margin. We're very happy with it. We're very happy with it, and we're very happy with Iowa. Thank you very much, Iowa. And we appreciate it, and we've had a great run together, and I've been working very hard with the farmers and making them hopefully very rich, making them very rich and very successful. And hello to everyone here also from Wisconsin. We have a lot of people from Wisconsin. All right, let's see. Who's from Iowa? And who's from Wisconsin? All right, that's not terrible. That's not bad. We just left Wisconsin, and we're going back to Wisconsin. 2 days from now, we are going to win Iowa, and we are going to win Wisconsin. And we are going to win 4 more years in that very beautiful White House. With your vote, we will continue to cut your taxes, cut regulations, and ensure that more products are made and raised and grown in the USA. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Next year, I think we're going to have the greatest year, economically speaking, in the history of our country. You saw the number that just came out, 33.1 GDP. That's the best number in the history of our country. And we're set. We call it a super V. We used to say a V. Now we're calling it a super V. Under my leadership, our economy is now growing at the fastest rate ever. It's really something. We're set. We're all set. We were doing better than ever before. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country, and then we got hit by the China plague, which we're not going to forget. So we closed it up, and then we opened it up, and we saved, I'll tell you, we saved 2 million lives. It was 2.2 million people were projected. We saved 2 million lives, but what happened, there shouldn't have been one life. Shouldn't have been, we can never forget. What China did to us, we can never forget. While foreign nations are in a free fall, you see what's going on in other lands. Look at what's happening in Europe. It's a shame. We're creating the world's greatest economic powerhouse. A recent Gallup poll found that 56% of the Americans polled said that they were better off now, much better off, it's a record, than they were 4 years ago under Obama and Biden. As president, I kept my promise, and I protected ethanol. And I approved E15 for use all year round. You don't know what that means. That's a lot. They've been trying to get that approved. Let me just tell you, for all of the ethanol people, and you have Joni and you have Chuck over here, they fought with me. They would come in. They wanted it. And I said, can I give you just a little bit less? No, we won't accept anything less. That's Chuck and Joni. They were tough and they were good, but they didn't have to fight me. They didn't have to fight too hard. I was with the farmers. I was with them from the beginning. But if Biden gets in, you can forget about ethanol. You can forget about everything. You would have that terminated. You would have that terminated so fast. But authorized its use in existing gas pumps also. That doesn't mean much to you. It means a lot to the ethanol people. So you have the existing gas pumps. You don't have to go and spend a fortune to do the new gas pumps. Nobody knows that, and it doesn't even sound very elegant in a speech. But you have the gas pumps to ethanol, and everything ends if Biden ever... It's not going to happen with Biden, let's face it. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. He would end everything that we've done. We've made this an incredible year. I got $28 billion from China that went to our farmers because they targeted you. We opened new markets for Iowa farmers and ranchers in Japan, the EU, South Korea, and all over the world. We surged exports with the new USMCA. We got rid of your horrible, terrible, worst trade deal ever made. Everyone said that would be impossible to do. We got it done. We got a lot done. We got a lot done. By the way, do you think it could be any windier up here? I'm sitting here. It's like I'm standing up, and this is one hell of a wind. It's lucky you have a president that doesn't need a teleprompter, because these things are useless. They're going. Man. Oh, they are useless. They're moving in 17 directions. I'm going like. Now, Sleepy Joe would be lost. He'd be, what am I going to do? How about this? They ask him questions. He puts it on a teleprompter. Gives them, I've never seen this one. The hardest question he had recently was, what flavor ice cream do you have, sir? He looks down, I think vanilla and chocolate. Okay, that's okay. They don't ask me questions like that. We confronted China's cheating and made them double their purchases. They doubled up their purchases. And, you know, 3 weeks ago, you had the largest corn order in the history of our country, right? This guy's a corn guy. He's a big corn guy. He likes Trump. You had the largest purchase of soybeans in the history of our country and the largest beef order. You know why? Because China realized that I'm going to win. Because when you look, and they want to make me happy because what they did should not have been done. They dream about Sleepy Joe Biden. They own Sleepy Joe. You know, they gave his boy a lot of money. Thank you. China goes, they go to bed every night and they say, please let it be Sleepy Joe. they would own the United States. You see the whole deal with him, right? With the son, with the $1.5 billion goes to the son to manage. He makes millions of dollars a year. Then the kid asks for $10 million a year for recommendation purposes. He's going to recommend. He gets $10 million. He wants $10 million a year. It's a disgrace. Nah, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. And then he doesn't have a job for 4 years, and he goes, and his father becomes vice president, and he wants $183,000 a month, right, from Ukraine. Burisma Oil Company, not the best reputation. And then he said that wasn't enough. Could we have $3 million up front, please? And then they get from Russia. Russia. Oh, by the way, the laptop from hell. All of a sudden, Shifty Schiff, you know, with the watermelon head, right, Schiff? He comes out, little Schiff. He comes out and he said, I think the laptop was developed by Russia. Russia's probably going, oh my, here we go again with it. Can you imagine that? 3 years, no collusion, $48 million. A friend of mine said, you've got to be the cleanest guy in the world. No collusion, no nothing. A waste of $48 million, 3 years. What a disgrace. And then they say, the laptop came from Russia. No, the laptop came from, where's Hunter? Where's Hunter? It's called the laptop from hell. How about, though, the mayor of Moscow's wife gives Hunter a check for $3.5 million. He didn't have a job. He was just, his father became vice president, and they were raking in money, and the father was supposed to get 10%, right? And then in another case, he was supposed to get 50%. And you know, the media doesn't want to talk about it. They put silence on it. They put silence on it. And big tech, they'll have to do something with Section 230, Chuck, I'll tell you. They're going to have to do something with Section 230 because what's going on is bad. What's going on could kill this country. They have to do something with Section 230. It's time we stop talking about it and get it done. We passed record because they wouldn't be here if it weren't for Section. We gave them this unbelievable gift of no liability, and they've abused it. They've totally abused it. We passed record middle-class tax cuts, and we virtually eliminated the estate tax, so you don't have a death tax. When you die, and at some point that'll happen. There's a couple of guys right here. Let's see. When you die and you have a beautiful farm and you want to leave it to your kids, right? In the old days, the kids would have to pay tax, and they go out and borrow the money, and then 2 years comes along, and they end up losing the farm. No estate tax, no death tax. Thank Chuck Grassley and thank Joni Ernst. Right? It's a big deal. You don't have the death tax or the estate tax. It's a big deal. Now, if you love your children, who loves your children here? Okay. And who does not love your child or children? There's one hand of a woman in the very back. So if you don't love them, it doesn't matter that much, okay? If you do, I did you one hell of a favor. You better remember that. We slashed a record number of job-killing regulations. No one has fought harder for the people of Iowa. That's true. For the people, for the farmers, I fought. For the farmers, for the ranchers. And you know, China went after you, but I got the money for you because I got it a different way. I spoke with our great Secretary of Agriculture, who I think is great, Sonny Perdue. He knows more about farming and agriculture. I said, Sonny, how much did they hurt us 2 years ago? He said, $12 billion. How much last year? $16 billion. I said, good. Take $28 billion and we're giving it, I think it was proportioned right. I hope it was. I don't know. Did anybody get a bad deal? Did anybody? Because you're all wealthy. But we took $28 billion and we gave it to the farmers. And that's why you're all here, and that's why you're all happy. And no other president would have done that. And we had a lot of money left over because we tariffed China a lot of money, and they paid for it. You didn't pay. You know, the fake news likes to say, you don't pay. They paid. They devalued their currency even further. and they paid. We got $28 billion for our farmers, and I'm very happy about it, and so are they. For decades, Joe Biden let other countries rip off our country, and cheat America blind. And there was a group, they would let him do anything. Biden has been there for 5 decades, and the only people who benefited from his policies were himself and his family, frankly. He shows up every 4 years and then goes back to Washington and caters to special interests. But my only interest is you. You know, it's very interesting. You know, this sleepy guy is raising a lot of money, right? So he raises money. You know how he raises money? By making deals. That's how you raise money. I would be the greatest political fundraiser in the history of the world. I could raise $1 billion and give me 2 days. Give me an extra day just in case. All I have to do is, hey, I know most of these guys one way or the other. President of the United States is calling Mr. So-and-so from Goldman Sachs, etc. President, do me a favor, send me 25 million, please, for the campaign. Yes, sir. They wouldn't even negotiate. I'd get so much, and I didn't do any of it, right? And we did very nicely. You know, we got a lot of small donations, but I didn't do any of it. I never made a call. Everybody I called would give. I'm the president. I mean, unless you're stupid, you're able to get a lot of money. Send me 10. Well, sir, we're having a hard time. All right, send me 5. That's okay. Send me 5. I would have raised $1 billion, but you can only spend so much. You know, you can only buy so many commercials. We've got so many commercials. They have so many. But if Biden, Harris, how about Harris? Kamala. You have to pronounce her name right. It's Kamala, like a comma. Kamala. And yet she pronounces her name differently than that, doesn't she, huh? Did Mike Pence beat her in the debate or what? Did anybody see the debate last week? Our debate? Right? Everything I'd say, well, why didn't you do it, Joe? You know, well, he should have done that. Really? First of all, everything I have done. I said, Joe, you were there for 47 years and you only left 3.5 years ago. Why didn't you do it, Joe? Well, I never thought of that. But if Biden and Harris, the radical left, gain power, they will crash the economy, destroy your farms, end all of the things I got you, like the estate tax. That's going to be ended. They don't want that. They fought us on that. And end America as we know it. You'll have a socialist country, and America will never be a socialist country. Biden has vowed to abolish the American oil industry. This would be a death sentence, as you know, for ethanol. So all of those people I've gotten to know a lot of the ethanol people through Chuck and Joni and Kim, all of them. Yeah, by the way, you do have a great governor. You know that, right? I don't even know if she's here. Is she here? There she is. I can't see her under all that stuff. Well, she's definitely wearing a mask, I will say. She's a great governor. The Biden-Harris plan would outlaw American energy, would unleash economic misery for Iowa, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and every other state in America. Your energy costs would go up at a level that you've never seen. He wants to raise your taxes. And, you know, it's not him. He has no clue. He's shot, okay? The guy has no clue. You know it. I know it. We're all trying to be nice. But I know him also for a while. He's not a nice guy. If he was, I wouldn't talk this way. He's the only man that I've ever seen. His whole campaign is, we will raise your taxes. I've said I've never heard of it. You know, all my life I've watched politicians. I grew up with politicians. They always said, we'll cut your taxes. He's the only guy I know that says we're going to raise your taxes. So I cut your taxes with them. The highest level cut, the most in the history of our country. He wants to raise your taxes more than anybody has ever raised your taxes. How? Let me just ask you, how do you get elected? I mean, aside right, wrong, how do you get elected? So he wants to give you the largest tax increase in history. Now, for 1 year, he went along the stage. He had like 27 people running, right? Some ran well. Some didn't go so good. Well, Kamala didn't do well. She was dropping like a rock, and she was mean to him, right? But they're going along, and everybody's against fracking. Okay, it doesn't pertain to you, but it does as your energy costs because you want your bills to be low. So he's going, no frack, no frack, no fracking. There will be no fracking. We've got a little play. I don't know if they put it. Oh, they did. We spent the money for Iowa. Look, see that? That board is expensive as hell. Whoa. Hey, Iowa must be a very important place. We've got a little show. Oh, we've got a little show. Look how beautiful. What a beautiful. That's. See, you see a beautiful board. I see a lot of money was spent on that. When do you see it? It's incredible what they can do for money. But you're going to see in a second. But he goes, no fracking for a year. No fracking. There will be no fracking. So he said this like 100 times. And then he goes to Pennsylvania. And he goes, I believe in fracking. We will have fracking. And the fake news, look at all of them back there, every one of them. They're fake. And they're more fake now than they ever were. When you look at what happened, when are you going to look into Moscow and the 3.5 million? When are you going to ask Moscow? I want to find out, why did Moscow give Where's Hunter 3.5 million? It must be his expertise. Where is Hunter, by the way? Remember I said, where's Hunter? Is he here? And then the next day they made a T-shirt. It was the #1 shirt of the year. Where's Hunter? No, but we want them to ask that question instead of what flavor ice cream are you having. They'll terminate your school choice, eliminate your charter schools, defund religious schools, ban prayer in schools, indoctrinate your children with anti-American lies, and force you to subsidize extreme late-term abortion. That's what they're doing. That's all in their platform. You got to read it. We call it the manifesto between Crazy Bernie. Yeah, Bernie, who's one of the greatest losers of all time. Now, think of it. They stole 2 elections, not 1. I've seen people where an election got stolen. And by the way, we're not going to let that happen to us, you know, with these ballots. How about the Supreme Court ruling with the Supreme Court? No, this was not good. The Supreme Court gave them more time. So what does this mean? Does this mean we go and we wait? So it's not November 3rd. It's going to be much later than that? No. We should know the result of the election on November 3rd, the evening of November 3rd. That's the way it's been, and that's the way it should be. What's going on in this country? What's going on? We believe that every child is a sacred gift from God. Biden and Harris will eliminate the private health insurance plans of 180 million Americans. Their socialist takeover will ration care and force you onto endless wait lists. That's what you're going to do. You're going to have wait lists. You know what we've done, by the way, for the military has been incredible. We've gotten rid of the wait list for our veterans. Our opponents would pack the Supreme Court with far-left justices. And by the way, he's never, you know, we're into the voting now. It's ridiculous. By the way, I liked Election Day, and most of you do too. Who is going to vote on Election Day? Okay. And who's already voted? Okay. And you sent ballots in? Be careful with the ballots. Be careful. Just be careful with those ballots. I don't know. Our opponents would pack the court. But remember, so a lot of people have already voted. He has never said if he's going to pack the court. You know, he's getting along the tap, tap. He's doing a little tap, tap, tap. So he has not said. Until he says he's not going to do that, you can't vote for him. And then on top of it, I created a list of 25. Now it's 45. And we just got a great one approved. These 2 approved them. Amy is going to be fantastic, right? Amy. They all love Amy. She's going to be a fantastic, for a long time, a justice of the Supreme Court. She's going to be there. And we picked 2 other great ones, and we're very happy. We have 3 justices of the Supreme Court. You know, many presidents have never had a pick. They've never had a pick, and I've had 3. That's just blowing their mind. Look at that. They're saying, how the hell did this happen? This guy's driving us crazy. Well, the other thing we've done is, thank you to President Obama. He was unable to get anybody approved. He waited so long. And we had a little help, too, in the Senate, put it mildly. But he waited so long, you know, if you go early enough, you'll get him through. And we ended up with 142 federal judges. But that's nothing. So we'll have, by the end of my first term, we're going to have almost 300, could be more, approximately 300 federal judges. So that's 300 federal judges, 3 justices of the United States Supreme Court. But so Bernie never said, he never created a list. I have a list, so I take one from the list. People didn't like it, they don't vote for it because they say the most important thing that a president does is Supreme Court justices and judges. And he hasn't given us the answer yet. And he hasn't given us a list. And he can't because they want far left maniacs. And we can't have. He won't be able to get the votes. So you know what? He's tapping you along. He doesn't know he's doing it, but he's actually doing a very good job of it because people are voting, and he still hasn't given a list, and he hasn't said whether or not he's going to pack the court. So you got to remember that when you look. Nobody in this group is voting for this guy. Nobody. He's not qualified. You know, he wasn't qualified in prime time. You know, 25 years ago, he wasn't qualified because he was never known as being the brightest bulb in the lot. They'll be shared on the, and you know that when it comes to your Second Amendment, they want to shred it. They want to abolish religious liberty, and they want to ban God from the public square. And you've seen that. So the Pledge of Allegiance during the Democrat convention, right? See, it's supposed to be Democratic, but it's really not. It's Democrat. Doesn't sound as good. That's why I use it all the time. No, it should be the Democratic. They should change their name. It sounds nicer. I hate to even say it. But the Democrat convention, on the Pledge of Allegiance, they took the word God out. And I heard it. I said, oh, you know that. I heard it. I said, oh, they must have made a mistake. They had a typo, maybe. We'll call it a typo. And then I heard it a second time. And I think, by the way, God is looking at us and saying, we want to give you a nice, cool day today. Because that wind, I don't know about you, but that wind is hitting me hard. I'm trying. Look at these flags. What the hell did my people put the stage right here for? Look at that. And there's the great Ivanka Trump is standing right there. Ivanka. Come here, Ivanka. Come here. My poor daughter, she's standing there freezing. You know, Iowa's not like this all the time. They wouldn't grow great corn if it was like this too much. Look at that. It's Ivanka Trump. Wow. No, I looked over here. I'm looking at that freezing. I'm looking at the flags, those beautiful American flags that we love and respect. And I see my daughter. Hello, Ivanka. Would you like to hear from Ivanka? Come on.
Hello, Iowa. This is some serious energy and a little bit of cold, but you all warm up the room. So, well, I love you, and we all love this man, a warrior through and through who never forgets why he's in Washington, why he ran for president, and who he's fighting for, which is you, the American people. What he has been able to accomplish in 4 years is extraordinary. But you know what? He'll do that and then some if given another term, which you're going to bring him to. He fights so hard for each of us every day, and now we can fight for him and the future of this great country by using our voice and using our vote to win another historic victory for the people's president. Get out and vote, everyone. Thank you. God bless.
That's Ivanka. No, you know, I said, Ivanka, go down here. It's warmer. Thank you. Boy, it looked cold out there. She's all by herself under the flags. I said, stand next to Chuck Grassley, where it's nice and warm. Chuck will keep you warm. He's great. He's a great guy, I'll tell you that. The Biden-Harris agenda is a war on workers, a war on faith, and a war on our police. To defend your God-given rights, I appointed Justice Amy Coney Barrett to the United States Supreme Court. We will defend, protect, and preserve the American way of life. Joe Biden is the candidate of rioters, looters, arsonists. It's hard to believe, but you take a look at what's going on in Philadelphia. He doesn't even want to condemn it. Gun grabbers, flag burners, Marxists, lobbyists, and special interests. Other than that, he's not a bad guy, right? I'm the candidate of farmers, factory workers, police officers, hardworking people, law-abiding patriots, and every race, religion, color, and creed. And if I don't sound like a typical Washington politician, that's because I'm not a politician, thank you. If I don't always play by the rules of Washington and the Washington establishment, it's because I was elected to fight for you, and I fight harder than anybody has ever fought before. Joe Biden is a corrupt politician, and we know that. We know that. We have found that out. You don't have to take my word for it. Biden's 47 years. I've done something for you today that you're going to love. Roll that screen right there. Roll it.
My problem is I voted for NAFTA. I'm supporting NAFTA because I think it is a positive thing to do. And I do not pretend to be an expert on international trade matters.
Trade agreements like NAFTA and permanent normal trade relations with China, which forced American workers to compete against people who are making pennies an hour, has resulted in the loss of 160,000 jobs.
The president is absolutely right when he says that China has been cheating for 25 years, and that Bill Clinton didn't do enough about it, George W. Bush didn't do enough about it, Barack Obama didn't do enough about it.
Rising China is an incredibly positive development for not only China, but the United States and the rest of the world. Rising China is a positive development. It is in our self-interest that China continue to prosper. We want to see China rise. China is a great nation, and we should hope for the continued expansion.
China is not our enemy.
We talk about China as our competitor. We should be helping. The idea that China is going to eat our lunch is bizarre. The idea that they are our competition, they're going to beat us, is bizarre. They're not bad folks, folks. China's not a problem.
Allowing China into the World Trade Organization, which he supported, extending most favored nation status to China, which he supported, those steps allowed China to take advantage of the United States by using our own open trade deals against us.
No.
Do you think in retrospect that you were naive about China?
No.
But doesn't he deserve some credit for that? It's better. The USMCA is better than NAFTA.
It is better than NAFTA. You know, we have to come together. That's why I'm running. I'm running as a proud Democrat for the Senate. So vote! Vote! Visit iwill.com/Ohio. God bless you.
Can somebody tell Joe, by the way, it's not a real website, and Joe, you're running for president, not senator, and by the way, that senator, the Mormon guy, is Mitt Romney, not some Mormon governor. Now, sadly, what we showed you, that's just from a couple of hours today, because every time that Joe actually leaves the basement bunker and stays out past 10 a.m., well, disaster ensues. Here's a quick reminder.
Look, tomorrow's Superstar Tuesday, and I want to thank you all. I tell you what, I'm rushing ahead, aren't I? We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. If you agree with me, go to Joe 30330. We choose truth over facts. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone. Make sure the kids hear words. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Donald Trump does pose an extra threat to this. It's not hypothetical.
This is pretty serious. By the way, these are way beyond an occasional campaign gaffe, and I am beginning, well, I'm more than a little worried that this man could represent a clear and present danger to this country. He's obviously not capable of leading. He's been hiding the entire campaign, and the corrupt media mob is covering for him. Joe wants to be the president of the United States of America. That would be the toughest job in the world, and at times, Joe doesn't seem to remember that he's even running for president, or what state he's in, or what day of the week it is. Does anyone really believe that if elected, that Joe Biden will actually be in control of anything?
What kind of country we're going to be? 4 more years of George, he's going to find ourselves in a position where if Trump gets elected, we're going to be in a different world.
Barack and I think it's a right for people to have bad health care. Folks, we got a lot of work to do. I don't only need you to get me elected, I need you once I'm elected. I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
Save a lot of words, don't we? We save a lot of words. Ay, ay, ay. Our country has such unbelievable potential. Let's not blow it. Go vote. This election is a choice between a Biden depression or a Trump super boom. We're going to be booming. We're going to have the greatest year. You had the best year we've ever had last year. We're going to have the best year next year. We're set for it. It's a choice between a deadly Biden lockdown. He wants to lock down. We're never locking down. Or a safe vaccine that ends the pandemic. And we, frankly, we're going to end it anyway. The vaccines are coming. They're coming in a matter of weeks. It's all set. We're going to be delivering them to our elderly. We're going to start with the elderly, the military. Logistically, are the best in the world. They're going to be delivering it. And without the vaccine, you can have the vaccine, but without it, we're rounding the corner. Thank you. Thank you. That's really nice, I'll tell you. That's never been a chant that anybody's ever heard. Even Chuck Grassley has never heard. We love Chuck Grassley, don't we? No, but I've never heard of that one, Chuck. They say nobody's, not Reagan, not anybody. They've never heard. So it's good. I appreciate it very much, and I love you too. I do. We've developed groundbreaking therapeutics. Excuse me, here I am. I took something that was pretty good because I woke up and I said, I feel great. Boom, Superman, right? That's true. And the First Lady got it, and, Barron got it. Now, Barron's a young guy, 14, and the doctor came to see me, and he said, sir, your son tested positive. I said, for what? Tested positive for what? For COVID. I think he used COVID. There's about 29 different names we can use, the China plague. He said, I think he used COVID. He tested for COVID. And I go, wow, that's bad. That's not good. Like 12 minutes later, I saw the great White House doctor. How's Barron doing? Oh, he's okay. He shed it, no problems. Like 12 minutes. I said, Barron, you feeling okay? Yeah, what was wrong? I had nothing wrong with me. Young kids have a strong immune system. They knock the hell out of it. Send your kids back to school. We want to go back to school, right? For those states, Pennsylvania, frankly, the governor, very bad lockdown. And North Carolina, we're winning in North Carolina. By the way, you know what's going on, right? We're winning in Florida. We're winning in North Carolina. We're winning in Pennsylvania. I think they've given up in Ohio. I think they've given up in Florida, frankly. And I think after the poll I saw from that very nice newspaper that usually doesn't treat me so well, but they treated me very well, I think maybe they're going to give up on a place called Iowa pretty soon, too. I think they'll give up on Iowa pretty soon. We will mass distribute the vaccine in just a few short weeks, and we will quickly eradicate the virus, wipe out the China plague. We just want to get back to normal. That's all we want. We don't want much. We don't want much. Just let's get back to normal. We had the greatest economy 7 months ago, and then we had the plague. It's not good. Think of what China has done to the world. Think of it. Now just think, I see people that come in, they're wrapped up in masks, and hey, how you doing? And don't touch, don't get close, seriously, think of what China has done to the world. I had a group of people not so long ago at a place, nice place, and they said, President, could we say hello? They're wrapped in masks, and it's terrible. And they say, could we say you couldn't hear them because the mask, one person had the world's thickest mask. I've never seen. I mean, and then the scientists would say, that one's no good. That one's no good. But they're saying, President, successful people, good people. And I'm saying, look at these people. I said, look at these people. What China has done to us, but what China has done to the whole world. They could have kept it in. They kept it in from China. Wuhan, they had the Wuhan province, they kept it in. But it got out to Europe, to the US, and all over the world. They could have, think of what they've done to us. Forget about their trade deal with your corn, okay? On the bigger picture, you know, we did that great trade deal, but the ink wasn't even dry, and all of a sudden, we got hit by this damn plague. And we won't forget it. We're not forgetting it, and you can never forget it. We can never forget it. The Biden plan will turn America into a prison state, locking you down while letting the far-left rioters roam free to loot and burn. Think of it. Think of it. You can't go to church. You can't go to school. You can't do anything. You have to stay in your house. But if you're a looter, an anarchist, a rioter, you can run down the streets of Portland. You can run down the streets of anywhere you want. And there you have no problems. In fact, we got to a point because we were shut out from having protests, right? Rallies. So they said, well, you can't have a rally, sir. You're not allowed to have anything political. I said, what can you do? The only thing you're allowed to do is protest. I said, good. Let's call our rallies from now on protests. So this is a protest. We are protesting, but your governor wouldn't do that to us. We don't have to worry about Iowa. We don't have to worry about Iowa. No, but you have some places. Minnesota, you saw that. We had 25,000 people that wanted to be there. And the Attorney General, well, I will say one thing about him. He was the first one, I think, or just about, him and one other person. On day one, he said, you know that Trump, this is 4 years ago, you know that Trump is going to win, don't you? They said, what do you mean? He said, Trump is going to win. So in one way, can't be so stupid, right? But the Attorney General and the governor of Minnesota said, no, we can only allow 250 people. We had 25,000 people that wanted to go. So I went there, and they thought that I'd cancel, you know, for 250 people, because we're drawing 25, 30, 40,000 people to every rally. So they figured I can't. They said, nope, we're not going to cancel in Minnesota. Minnesota hasn't been won by a Republican since 1972, and we're going to win Minnesota because of that. And you know, it got actually, had we had the rally, we'd have 25, 30,000 people there. Thousands, and you probably saw thousands of people showed up, and the governor had them locked out. Frankly, that was a much bigger statement than if we had the rally. If we had a rally, we would have had a big, beautiful rally. But it was a big statement. But between that and Omar, Ilhan Omar, she's a real winner. Ilhan Omar, who obviously hates our country. She likes to tell us how to run our country. How the hell she gets elected anyway is hard to believe. But she's in Minnesota. And the other thing is, you know, we stopped. I said, you got to let the National Guard in. You know, they have to ask us, right? I said, you got to let in the National Guard. Well, a week and a half later, they let the National Guard in, and we stopped in, what would you say, 22 minutes? Like, remember, wasn't that beautiful? I mean, look, sometimes, this week and a half, they're burning down Minneapolis, burning it down, and CNN's covering it. That reporter, he got hit on the knee with a canister of tear gas once. The guard, he said, I'm down, I got hit. Don't worry, it was only tear gas on the knee. He was down. But he was saying, this is a friendly protest. And you looked over his shoulder, right? The entire city was burning down. Did you see that? It's a famous picture. The thing must have been like 10 blocks long. They should have called us sooner, but we put it out in about 15 minutes, maybe 20. That was a beautiful sight, though. They just came in 1, 2, 3, then all of a sudden, more. You know, you could just see the bus loads. And they walked down that street with pepper spray and tear gas, and it was paw. Everybody took, I'm telling you, less than a half an hour, it was all over. That thing lasted for 2 weeks. Biden calls his lockdowns a dark winter. Wasn't he inspiring at the debate? How bad was he? Look. You know, I've debated guys that had intelligence this way. Look, I had a debate crooked Hillary 4 years ago. But, I mean, at least she was an intelligent person. She's got a little wacko, you know. No, Hillary, you lost. Remember she said to me, will you respect the decision of the people? And I sort of said, no, maybe. I wasn't perfect. I said, maybe. If there's no cheating, we have to be careful with cheating, right? But then she didn't respect. And what did they do? They went on a witch hunt for years and years, and they spied on my campaign, and we caught them spying on the campaign. And now they say, will you respect the decision of the voters? And will there be a friendly transition? First of all, there's not going to be a transition. We're winning. But then you say, well, let me ask you, 4 years ago, was there a friendly transition? They were spying on my campaign before I even won. And what was worse was they were spying on my campaign after I won to overthrow the President of the United States, okay? Which is called treason, And let's see what the hell happens. I don't know why it takes so long, but it takes a long time. I'll tell you, that man right there, Chuck Grassley, is one of the most effective people. He's one of the people that does not want to let him get away with it, and I appreciate it. You know that. No, he's one of the most effective guys. He was the man. He looked at Comey. Remember when Comey lied in front of Congress? He looked at Comey. He said, did you leak? You know, Chuck is tough. When he's talking regular, he's like the toughest guy in the room. But Comey was tested, and Comey's a liar, worst director in the history of the FBI. Beyond the worst director, he was a bad guy. But Chuck Grassley is interviewing him, asking, then he looks at him, oh, one more question, sort of like Columbo, right? He said, I have one more question. Remember Columbo? Hey. Oh, just one extra little question. So here he is, Perry Mason also, always the last question. That was true with during the debate. When he said the oil, I said, whoa, this is the biggest question of the night. But with Chuck, he said, did you leak? What? Did you leak? Yes, I did. And I'm sitting there saying, I don't believe this. Oh, we love Chuck. What a piece of work Chuck is. What a piece of work that man is. I like that guy. He's tough as hell, though. I wasn't, and it's true. I guess I was only giving the ethanol guys 99%. And Chuck couldn't stand that. He wanted them. He wanted you people to get 100%, right? I said, Chuck, I've got the papers all ready to sign. I don't like them. Why? You didn't give that one little thing, that one little morsel for the other side. Like a little morsel, right, for the other side. Happened to be the oil industry. I said, could we give them something? And it wasn't any good. We love you, man. We love you. He ended up getting 100%. But it all goes away with Sleepy Joe. Just remember that, Chuck. The Biden lockdown will result in countless deaths, destroy millions in small businesses, and wipe out an entire generation of hopes and dreams. Earlier today, one of his top advisors again confirmed their desire for a shutdown. The damage to children, you know that. You saw that. It was in the news. They want to shut it down. I don't know. These people are crazy. We've got a thing that's rocking and rolling, and it doesn't work. The damage this will inflict on children, teenagers, and young adults is absolutely cruel. The far left has always yearned to wield the unchecked power. That's what they want, is the power. I think it's more than the power. I think it's the power and maybe the money. If you want a vaccine to kill the virus, a job to support your family, and freedom to live your life, then you cast your ballot for me, and you have to do it on November 3rd. You got to get over there. Joining us today, got to get it done. We got to get it done. We got to get this election behind us and get to work. We have some great people in government. We have some great people that want to come into government. And our nation has unbelievable potential. You know, I didn't watch much of Biden's speech. He made a little speech, a little tiny. He does very short speeches. Very short. The shortest speeches I've ever seen, actually. He just wants to go home to the basement. He doesn't want to be. He is the most unhappy warrior I've ever. Did you ever see him? He's agitated, you know? He's just angry and agitated, and he doesn't want to be there. And now he's starting to lose in the polls, and it's driving him crazy. So what does he do? He brings in Barack Hussein Obama. And you know what happened to his attendance? It went down. His attendance, it actually brought it down. They all said, you know, they called and they said the other day, a couple of weeks ago, they said, sir, have a little bad news. What? Barack Hussein Obama is going to campaign with Biden. I said, why is that bad news? That's good news. He campaigned with Hillary, and that was when she started really getting beaten. Remember that? He campaigned. He's a highly overrated person. Well, he gave us 142 judgeships. We'll take it. Joining us today are some incredible people, and if they want to come up and freeze their ass off, I've been fighting them up. See, you people are there, and you're nice and warm. I'm up here all by myself. That's why I said to my daughter, oh, look, is that Hope Hicks? Is that Hope Hicks? Where's Hope Hicks, the great Hope Hicks? Get her. Is that Sarah Huckabee? You look like, come here, Sarah. You know what? You look like Hope Hicks. I thought Sarah Huckabee was Hope Hicks. That's not bad. Hope Hicks, come up here, Hope Hicks. The great Hope Hicks. Boy, we got them all. Come here, Sarah. How good is Sarah, huh? Look at Sarah. Come up here, Sarah. Look at Sarah. She did pretty well being with Trump, right? She's doing good. Say something, Sarah.
Thank you, Mr. President. How good does that sound, President Trump? He's had an amazing 4 years as a mom of 3 young kids. There's nobody I trust more to build their future and protect our great country than President Donald Trump. We need everybody here to make sure they get out, because this is the most important election we've ever had. Everything is on the line, and the only person strong enough, tough enough, and willing to fight for it is President Donald Trump. I'm so proud to be here. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. I don't know. She could be a governor of Arkansas one day. I don't know. Is that, where's Hope? Come here, Hope. Do you know Hope? Hope Hicks. Come here, Hope. Come up here. The great Hope Hicks. Do you know Hope Hicks? She's become very famous. Very powerful woman. Very powerful. Look at her. Are you cold enough, Hope? Come on up, Hope. Are you having a good time?
Yes, sir. Yes.
She does a fantastic job. I don't know if she loves public speaking. Just say hello.
Hi. How much do we love our president? Are you guys gonna vote on Tuesday? Who are you gonna vote for? We love you, Iowa. Thank you.
Thank you.
Much better.
Good job. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks, Hope. So we have a person that you know very well, who's considered one of the best governors in our country, and she is, and I work with her. She's another one. She's unrelenting. You had a little flooding problem, to put it mildly. You were like a swimming pool for a period of time. And Kim was on the phone. Sir, we need money for the dikes, the dams, whatever the hell we were calling them. We got to get money. And I said, all right, Kim, is this enough? No, sir, we got to have more. But that's what a good governor is, right? The ones that don't call, they're not as good, but we don't want to tell them that. But she's really considered one of the greatest governors in our country, and she's a great person, a great husband. She's got a great warrior husband, too, I will tell you that. Kim Reynolds. Come on up, Kim, if you can. Come on up. Come on.
so proud to have you here. And I've told you every time I had the opportunity to be in front of you that we were going to carry Iowa for Donald J. Trump, and we are going to bring it home. Yes, we're not satisfied with 7. We're going for 10. We're going to bring it home. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you.
Great job. Thanks, Kim. Great job. Thank you, Kim. She's a dynamo, huh? Wow. I was saying, whoa. Thank you, Kim. And Lieutenant Governor Adam Gregg. Adam, thank you very much. Thank you. Doing a great job, Adam. Are we doing okay, Adam? We're doing good? Good. Bring it home, Adam. Also with us are 2 people. One is running, and the other one doesn't even have to run even when he's running. I hear he's. They say he might be the only politician in America who's just not beatable. People don't even run against him. He's a great guy. But let's get, because we have to do this, we have to get Joni Ernst elected. She's fantastic. She's so good. Joni, come up. Joni is fantastic and special woman, and she loves your state, and she loves our country. Joni, please.
Thank you, and President Trump, we love you. Thank you so much. God bless you. There is not a finer president and one that has done so much for our farmers and our ranchers and our biofuel producers. President Trump, Iowa loves you. I love you. God bless you. 4 more years. 4 more years.
Thank you. Thank you, Joni. Thank you, Joni. Yeah, get out and vote for Joni. She's a terrific person, and she really fights hard for the state. She really does. She really goes all at it. And the man that we've been talking a lot about today, I've talked about him so much, and everybody knows who he is. Everybody in Washington respects him. Most people are deathly afraid of him, but I've gotten to know him. Actually, when you get to know him, he's actually tougher than you even think. But he's a great man. He really is. He's a great man. He's been a great senator. I think somebody said he's never missed a vote in all these years. And I'd love to have either stay there or come right up here, Chuck, but we would love to have you. Chuck Grassley, really a legendary guy. A legendary guy. He really is. He's something special.
You know, while we were warming up the crowd for you in this cold day, and I think that's an impossible task, but I said the 4 words that ought to be the most used for you to be reelected is promises made, promises kept. And one of the things that you didn't make a promise on that has really materialized anyway, and that is your leadership in peace in the Middle East. And nominated by 3 parliamentarians of other countries for the Nobel Peace Prize. That's pretty darn good. And you're going to continue to work for peace. And we thank you very much. Iowa's going to go for you big time. And we're going to have such a successful election that CNN and MSNBC is going to have to change their policies when they realize for 4 years that they couldn't get you out of office, and the people back you up, you'll be in there, and they'll have to change.
Great job, Chuck. Thank you. Unique man, great guy. Agricultural Secretary Mike Nagy. Where's Mike? Where's Mike? Thank you, Mike. How's it going? Okay? Your agriculture's strong? You got a check for $28 billion, your percentage, right? Well, how did you split that up? But you did a good job. And somebody that happens to have a very good end name, Pat Grassley. Do you know Pat? Pat Grassley. We talked about that, what good genes he's got. And another man who's done a fantastic job, I hope he's here, but he was your governor for 24 years. He set the record. And he told me a story that many, many years ago, he met a man in China, and he came home and he told his wife, they were young men together, and they were buying corn, or one was a buyer, one was a seller. I don't know how the hell it worked, but he met a man, and his name was Xi. His last name, Xi. And he came home years ago, many years ago, and he told his wife, I have just met a future president of China. And they were friends after that. And it turns out to be President Xi, current President Xi, the president of China. And when I met President Xi, he said, Terry Branstad, the governor, is a very good friend of mine. We've known each other for 35 years. So Terry becomes governor again, 24 years, longest serving governor in the history of the country. Okay? When you're a governor for, you know what, when you're a governor for 24 years, that's a long time. And I called him, like in the middle of his term. I said, Terry, you know, they like you in China. President Xi has great respect for you. How would you like to be the ambassador to China? And he said, you know, sir, I think after 24 years, maybe it's time. And he represented us so well. He is so smart and so tough. And so come on up here, Terry. What a great job he's done. So he wanted to come back, and he wanted to make sure that we get reelected. That's what he wanted to do. But what a job he's done. Thank you very much. Please.
Mr. President, we are so honored to have you in Dubuque on the Sunday before the election. On the Sunday before the election, 4 years ago, you were in Sioux City. And we're glad that you've come back the Sunday before the election this time. The polls have you in the same position, 7 points up over your opponent. But what I want the people of Iowa and America to know is nobody had the courage to stand up to the Chinese like President Donald Trump. And it's made a real difference. He asked Xi if he would make all of fentanyl a controlled substance, and it's saving thousands of lives in America. He had the courage to put sanctions on the Chinese to get us a fair reciprocal trade agreement, which we'd never had before, and it's already risen the price of corn $1 a bushel. Soybeans are over $10. They made record purchases. We need a strong president, and Trump is the one that can do the job for the next 4 years. I'm proud to be back in Iowa, proud to be back in America, and here to support Donald Trump, Joni Ernst, and our entire team.
Thank you. What a great guy. We have great, you have great people. There's a lot of good genes in this state, right? Thank you very much. Is Eric here? Is your son here? Oh, look at you. I didn't recognize you with that big, beautiful hat on. Are you doing great? Are we doing okay? We're doing fantastic. That's great. He has a father who's very proud of him, I have to tell you. Thank you, Eric. Great job you're doing. And Iowa GOP Chair Jeff Kaufman. He's been fantastic from day one. Thank you, Jeff. Looks good, Jeff, huh? Looking good, Jeff. Take it through. You bring it through, Jeff. I have no doubt about you. He's a great chairman, one of the best. Congressional candidates, Ashley Hinson, who's unbelievable. Come here, quick, Ashley, come. Come here, Ashley. And Marionette Miller Meeks and Esther Joy King. Come on up here. Come on. Get up here. Say a couple of words, because you are doing fantastic.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you for coming back to Iowa. Iowa is Trump country! We want to tell you, we've been traveling throughout the state, Marionette Miller Meeks and Esther Joy King. We are going to take these seats back because what do we want to do? We want to fire Nancy Pelosi. You need a partner in Congress so you can get your MAGA agenda done, and we are going to be there for you, Mr. President. So thank you for coming to Iowa.
Thank you. Our first vote, Mr. President, will be for Speaker of the House, and we're going to say to Nancy Pelosi, you're fired!
Nice to meet you, sir. As
a soldier in the United States Army Reserve, I just want to say thank you for your support for the military, sir.
Great. Thank you very much. Great people. Really great people. And we've rebuilt the entire military. We've rebuilt it over 3.5 years. And that's why we can't worry too much about budgets. They can't say, gee, we kept within budget, but who are those people running up the White House lawn? We don't like that, right? Now, we have the strongest military now that we've ever had, strongest in the world by far. Under my leadership, we achieved the most secure border in American history. As you probably know, the wall, which they no longer want to talk about, the wall is almost complete. We did 412 miles. We're doing approximately 10 miles a week. And it's done to the highest standard, what the Border Patrol desired, and it's been amazing. And we have now the safest southern border, and Joni and Chuck worked very much with me on that, and it's been amazing. We really had a great success. That's why you don't hear about it anymore. That's why you don't hear about it anymore. They used to love it when they didn't think we'd get it built. We had a hard time. That was a hard one. The Democrats were a wall. They were their own wall. Remember they said walls don't work? I said walls work and wheels work, right? Everything else becomes obsolete very quickly. Joe Biden has pledged to free health care for illegal aliens. That would bankrupt your Medicare and totally destroy Social Security. I will always protect Medicare and Social Security. We invested $2.5 trillion in the U.S. military. We now have the greatest equipment we've ever had. We have the greatest equipment anywhere in the world. We are the envy of the world. Russia, China, North Korea. We are the envy. We have the best planes, the best fighter jets, F-35 stealth. You can't see them. They're very, very tough to see. Very tough to beat a plane in the air when you can't see it. But we have the best planes, the best ships. Submarines. We're doing submarines like nobody's ever seen before. We have the best rockets and missiles. We have the best of everything. And our nuclear now is tippy-top. And just hope to God we never have to use it. You know that, right? You know that. And the best way that we won't have to use it is to have it in shape like we have it now. But we have the best equipments. We have the hypersonic missiles that go 7 times faster than the world's current fastest missile. And these were things that should have been done before me, but they didn't decide to do that. So it's one of those things. We passed VA choice and VA accountability for our veterans. Nobody thought that could be done. We took out 100% of the ISIS caliphate in Iraq and Syria. And we killed the leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi. They were looking for him for a long time. We took out the mass murder of U.S. troops and many other people. Soleimani is dead. I withdrew from the last administration's disastrous Iran nuclear deal, recognized the true capital of Israel, and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. I also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. They worked 52 years, and we got it done in 2 hours approximately. And instead of endless war and when you look, this is what Chuck was just saying, what we're doing, it's amazing what we're doing. We have 3 countries signed up. We have many, they're all coming in. We're forging peace in the Middle East without blood in the sand, without money that they would spend. A vote for me in the Republican Party is a vote for the American dream. Remember the party of Abraham Lincoln, the late, great Abraham Lincoln. People forget, but it's the American dream. Over the next 4 years, we will make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world, and we will end our reliance on China. That's already begun. We will hire more police, increase penalties for assaults on law enforcement, and we will ban deadly sanctuary cities. We will defend the right to life, religious liberty, free speech, and the right to keep and bear arms, your Second Amendment. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might, and we will ensure peace through strength. We will end surprise medical billing, require price transparency, which is so good, starts January 1st. lower drug prices even more. You know, we're going favored nations. The drug companies are not in love with me. Favored nations. We'll be paying the lowest drug prices anywhere in the world instead of the highest drug prices in the world. But Big Pharma, I don't even want to look at Chuck and Joni because I have no idea if they're, you know, the biggest lobbyists in the world, right? They spend more money. I can tell you they're making more commercials about me than Sleepy Joe is. But we had to do it. Somebody had to do it. Only a non-politician would do that. And you pay a price, but we have to do the right thing. You'll see a 50, 60, 70% reduction in drugs. And I got the only reduction last year. We got it down a little bit, 1%. It came down. It's not that I'm bragging about it, but in 52 years, first time in 52 years, the drug prices came down. So we're sort of, I'm semi-proud. At least it didn't go up. I'm semi-proud, but you'll see what happens with what we're doing with favored nations. And we will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. America will land the first woman on the moon, and the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. It's all done. Our Space Center, NASA, is incredible. It was a closed-up, boarded-up mess when we took over 3.5 years ago. Now it's, again, the envy of the world. We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and restore patriotic education to our schools. We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag, right? And we will live by the timeless words of our national motto, "In God we trust." For years, you had a president who apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the great people of Iowa and Wisconsin. We didn't forget you because you're going to vote us in too. You know, we're going to be there very soon. We love Wisconsin. Wisconsin came through for us 4 years ago too, and we won't forget that. To save the America we love, get every last person you know, get them to the voting booth in record numbers, vote, vote, vote. Join the red wave. We have a giant red wave that's formed. It's formed. It's formed. From Cambridge to Council Bluffs to Cedar Rapids to Rock Rapids, from Davenport to Dubuque, we inherit the legacy of American patriots who poured out their heart, sweat, and soul to secure our liberty and defend our freedom. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who crossed the ocean, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, laid down the railroads, raised up the great skyscrapers, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and made America into the single greatest nation in the history of the world, and the best is yet to come. Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country. We are returning power to you, the American people, with your help. Thank you. Your devotion and your drive, we are going to keep on working, we are going to keep on fighting, and we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together with the incredible people of Iowa and Wisconsin back there, we have made America powerful again, our military, our beautiful military. We have made America wealthy again. We have made America strong again. We have made America proud again. We have made America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Iowa. Thank you, Wisconsin. Thank you, Wisconsin. Thank you, everybody. I hope it's cold enough for you. Thank you, everybody. Have a good time. Get out and vote.